Hi, and welcome to day 97 of sophomore year at ASU. I'm Ethan M. Roth, and today, welcome for African American Studies class. And I really didn't even feel like going, just kind of at that point. It's getting late in the semester. Just don't really want to keep going on. Then also, did not have my Final Cut editing class because it got canceled for this week since everyone's kind of has strange schedules with Thanksgiving, with like professors going out of town and everything. But then I did have my THE 403 independent film class, and it was good because I found out that the extra credit in it will not be out of like 15 out of 15. It will in fact be 15 out of 0. So I might be able to pull off an A in that class, which would be good for my GPA, to keep my scholar status, to keep myself on the dean's list. I mean, I am on the Dean's Advisory Board, so I guess I'm on a Dean's list of some sorts.
You're cool.
Are you on some Dean's Advisory Board, Laree? No, I don't think so. You're just another WP Carey student. Get a life. Sorry, that was rude, but it was all in good fun. You know, people think I'm really mean to Laree.
Thanks.
It's true.
He's actually been rather nice to me lately, just not on camera.
Isn't that true?
It's quite strange.
Have I cleaned my act up?
Now you've switched the roles. Now you're nice outside of the show.
Yeah, I used to be nice on the show to her, but I was mean off the show. Now I'm mean on the show, but nice to her in real life. Funny. So it's kind of.
I'd rather it be this way because I can handle the show meanness.
And then we ordered Gino's tonight, and Laree paid.
I'm sad Janae wasn't working.
Yeah, and the person on the phone was awful.
Such an idiot.
Yeah, I'm sure Janae would have done a better job. And then we just played Sporkle.
Oh my gosh, we sporkled our brains out. My mind hurts right now. I had a funny story, man.
Oh yeah, and Laree's big funny story. It's kind of long, but it's worth it. It's funny.
Well, it's not that funny.
Here it is.
I have a funny story for you from math today. I was sitting and we were doing our regular thing, and this kid, we were having a quiz that day, and this kid kind of raised his hand after my teacher had done a couple examples of new material, and he was like, do you mind if we could do an example for something from something that's going to be on the quiz today? And he was like, well, I mean, I just did 3 examples, but, and he was like, well, kind of more just like a basic or whatever. So he continues to do the examples of the new material, which kind of incorporates the old thing, but it's not very clear. And so I guess the kid kind of got distracted and texted. And my teacher's weirdly hot-headed, and sometimes he doesn't care if you text, and sometimes he will just like bite your head off if he sees you texting. So he was like, you need to turn your phone off or walk away and take a 0 or something like that. It was really weird. He just like spazzed out on him, and this kid's like always in class, always like cooperative, whatever. So the kid's like, whatever, okay, sorry. He's freaking out because he thinks he's getting kicked out, but then the guy is just staring him down and is like, do you have something to say? And the kid's just like, do you want me to say something? Like he's trying to just comply and be nice. He's not trying to be like a smart little ass. So like, the guy's like, do you want me to say something? Like, the teacher's like, well, sorry, that would work. And the kid's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, okay, you can stay. This is so weird. And this is just like, the tension in the room is just like so thick. It's like awkward as hell. And he's done this before because I told you he's kind of a crazy guy. But, so, kid's just sitting there, and then he starts the example, and then he's like, all right, Mr. whatever the kid's name is, like, how do we do this or whatever? And the kid's like, if you want me to just play fill in the blank, then, I'll just leave or whatever. Because along the way, he kind of just kept feeding the kid what he was supposed to be saying back to him, like, are you going to say sorry? Are you going to, whatever. So I guess the kid was just not going to have that. And the guy was like, what? And he was just like, well, I need help with an example because I don't know how to do this. So, I don't have an answer for you. And so he's like, all right, well, whatever. And so he starts working through it, and I was really surprised that he didn't flip about that. For some reason, he just kind of like moved forward. And then, he's working through the problem. Everything seems to be settled. The kid's, fine. He's not on his phone anymore. He's paying attention. Everybody's taking notes. He just stops for a second. We had these two big, like, I don't know what they're called, screens, whatever, that he puts PowerPoints up and stuff on. And behind that is a dry erase board. And he just, like, walks behind the dry erase board and, like, pretty sure he picks up this eraser and hurls it with force at the wall, and it makes this kind of tumbling sound to the ground, and then he just picks it up, puts it back on the little, like, ledge, and then walks out from the screen, and it's just like, it dropped. Like, oh yeah, it just fell down, I was like...
Did he pop more Listerine?
Oh yeah, he was popping Listerine packs the whole time. He has this very strange, quirky habit. It's like a dead giveaway of who I'm talking about. If I tell anyone whose class I'm in, they're like, oh, Listerine guy. Like, this guy just, like, pops Listerine packs. Like, those little, like, sheets you put on your tongue? He eats, like, 5, like, every 10 minutes. Like, he eats 2 at a time, guaranteed. It's really weird. So, but he's actually a pretty good teacher, so don't hate totally, but he's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that guy actually is a good math teacher since I sat in on the class earlier this semester. I really like him. And he does really pop Listerine strips 2 at a time. See you tomorrow.
Crazy.
And
subscribe, crazy frogs.